Uranium Friends, CCJ, weekly chart. So yeah, posted on Twitter the other day about this setup, and I want to go over it. So if you remember, which you probably don't, because very few people really watch this stuff, or um, my last call out on this was exactly right here. Right where this circle is. I have the fib on here, but this is exactly where it was. It was 4 hour oversold conditions. It was close to daily oversold conditions. Um, these translucent lines here, this is anchored VWAPs. So this anchored VWAP pull is from this swing pivot low here. This anchored VWAP pull is from this swing pivot high here. So again, I'm prompted to look at this name again, regardless of all the fundamental stuff and their production and shortfalls and whatever. Price action rules, right? And setups are setups. And when we go into the daily, I'll tell you why I took it. It was a very low risk play that's working right now. But again, this weekly chart, double bottom, uh, anchored VWAP zone, good spot, right? If you were just looking at it from this perspective, it's a good spot and it's a pretty low risk play. Even if you decided to use your level here of this weekly low, which is 39.65. It's still a fairly low risk play there. So the way I looked at it was a low risk play. So on to the daily, and so we can get a little bit of a better look here. So um, literally called it out on yesterday, right? I think I called this thing out yesterday, right? So I called it out here off this double bottom, of course. Now, I know there's a gap right here, and it does have some. I'm slightly concerned about it. I would think that in the environment that we're in, that I would presume that the gap is going to get filled, but maybe it won't. But regardless of that, the setup is a setup is a setup, right? So even if we go back to the 4 hour on that day, the 4 hour chart, all right, it was heavy oversold. And that's part of the reason why I took at least a scalp at a shot at it. So heavy oversold on the 4 hour into a weekly double bottom right into the VWAP anchored VWAP zone, and it was pretty close to being oversold on a daily too. So it was worth the shot. And again, I posted today because I trimmed some out, to be protective. Now I'm in the spot where if I stop out, even below this level, a little bit below, I have a little bit of breathing room there. I'm going to be break even, and the trade, it'll be okay. It won't be great, but that's what I do when I see these setups like this. I don't care about any fundamentals, what anybody's saying. It's all noise to me, right? Again, everybody was saying to be short Cameco for the past 2 to 3 years, and you can say it again if you want, but it's a top holding in the ETFs, and we're going to get to the ETFs too because they're slightly problematic as well. But that'll be in the next video. This is just a CCJ video. That's my play. Um, I may actually add to what I sold, add back what I sold if it goes a little bit lower, but I haven't made that decision yet. Um, there's a gap still here. So short term, if you're looking at this as someone who's trying to monitor the trade that they just entered, there's a clear line here. The 12 EMA on the 4 hour, that's acting as resistance, right? So it does have a little bit of a lovely little 4 hour head and shoulders here. That is with extended hours. Let's take extended hours off and see what it looks like. It's just sideways action, right? So um, fine. I'll sit in this trade until it stops me out at this point. I may even add, and what's going to prompt me to add to it? Well, regular trading hours here, hourly brutally oversold, right? Again, that was the spot, brutal oversold. There's no defined pivots here, so you can't say it's an hourly inverse head and shoulders. But what you can say, and look at it in after hours. It's all the way up at 42.59. So what we can say is that it's just taking over the hourly 12 EMA. So yeah, squiggly lines tend to technical analysis doesn't work. It sure does, right? Here's your resistance guide on the 1 hour chart, riding it down like a banshee. Now it's just starting to make its way over. So yeah, we're going to need some follow through. It's probably going to need a little bit of volume to push it up. Extended hours, I don't put much into extended hours, but we're here. And I may technically even decide to add and then bring my stop loss up. Um, we'll see how it plays, but this is right now, this has now become a key level. This 41, let's see exactly what it is. 41.81 because it's an hourly higher low as compared to this, right? Because it already took out the high on that. So and we're getting this 5 EMA cross back bull over to the 12 EMA cross. So let's just take a look at what happens when the 5 EMA crosses back over, right? Pretty much get some good run out of it. So, that's the way I'm looking at it. Here's your crossover right here, right? Here's where it crossed over. Uh, January 4th, right? So if we were to take a little bit of a measurement from that crossover, it's 21%. Am I expecting that again? No, I'm not expecting anything. I'm gonna play the action, but that's where we're at. So tomorrow, another day. See how it plays out. It's set right now. In technical analysis terms, once the high of the previous candle is taken out, which was done here, uh, that indicates that the low of that previous candle is setting the low for now. And daily triple bottom at this point, we'll see. Okay. So, it's still, in my opinion, a pretty low risk play if you're working off of this level here, which is 41.17, and this is a 100% Fibonacci round trip. So, um, okay, I'm in a bounce play. What do I think about the bounce play? Well, what I think is I'm keeping an eye out for a weekly head and shoulders. Okay. Um, could be this level, could be a level up here. This is, although these are like triple tops, so it's hard to make that call. So even if we get that weekly head and shoulders look to 46.89, you're still talking about 15% trade. Okay. So yeah, I like it uh, for now. I'm monitoring this trade tightly because I'm aware of the gap. And I'm fully aware that it could get there. And then, if you look at this volume profile, by the way, that's why I like volume profile. But, there's a nice shelf here that it tapped off of, and this previous action here. So the level makes sense, even though technical analysis doesn't work. So that's the deal. I will have a lot more confidence in a little bit more duration in this trade if this level right here, this high, what is this? If this high of 43.02 gets taken out tomorrow, I'd feel a lot better about holding over the weekend. That will get a nice 5 EMA 12 bull cross on this hourly, and it will also, yeah, so it'll also set these 4 hour lows as well. So tomorrow, we'll see. All right, over and out. No emotions. Forget the noise. Know your levels. Make your trims and take a little profit so you are comfortable with the stop loss. And if you lose it, it's a break even trade. You try again another time. Over and out.